Hi guys, Paul back with a video. So today's video, I'm just going to do it on some 2-in-1s. Now I've received these today. Some of you will recognise them already, but they're the Andy Max 2-in-1s. Now I purchased these out of my own money. You know, I've not been asked to do this video or anything like that. I saw a video that Andy had put up on YouTube of the picks, and as soon as I saw them I knew I'd like the look and the feel of them straight away. They just suit the style of pick that I like. Instead of the typical 2-in-1s with the 2 knurled wheels, which I found when I'm using them, using the knurled wheels, I used to get a quite bad cramp, especially when I'm doing safes and things. So I bought 2 from Andy. I bought one that was sized for a union free lever, and another one that is untouched, so that I could size it myself. So hopefully from that you can see that this top one here, the upstands are approximately 2mm taller than the other one. Now in the kit you get 2 tensioning handles, one short, one long, and you get your Allen key if you need it. Now I'm picking these left at the minute, so I tend to use, for the tensioning handle, I use the short one, just because it stops you from putting too much tension, because of the leverage that you'd have on using the longer one. Okay. Now you have got these spacing rings, if you can get that into view. So you've got essentially a lever indicator. You can bring that into view. Okay, so you can see them rings around it. So as you move it in, that gives you an idea of where you are in the lock. Now it's not a clicker system, so it doesn't click, but you can actually see where the bevel of the tool, the end of it, where it's sitting, you know where you are roughly in the lock. Okay. Just a handy little thing. Personally, I do everything by feel, but obviously when you're learning, it's not a bad way to learn. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go through these ones and just sort of show one by one them being picked. Now there's not really a great deal of skill required when picking a free lever. You know, they're not anything overly complicated, but at the same time they're a good way to learn. I'm going to move that tension handle on this side. They're a good way to learn lever picking and to get you started, obviously, because free lever unions don't have any anti-picks in them, and it's just a natural progression from these to keep moving forward. So it just gives you the perfect start. I mean, some of these unions can be a little bit tricky. You know, some of them will require some techniques to get these open. Now this isn't a tutorial. I'm just going straight away. Okay, so as you can see, that is fairly simple. You know, this isn't a tutorial of how to pick, but some people will be able to see from what I'm doing. But it's just more to sort of show the tool in action. So we're just going to run through all of these. Okay, now I probably haven't got these tension handles in the position where I would typically have them out in the field, so let me just bring this camera around a little bit more, where I would typically have them out in the field, but just for the purpose of keeping my hands out of the video so people can see typically what I'm doing. So I think a few of these will be handy for locksmiths and obviously hobbyists and lock sporters, etc. I mean, for locksmiths, I mean, for me and a few of the other guys, I know we bought 2 of them purely because, you know, you're not always picking 3 levers out in the field, but you will come across these still on people's front doors. There's another one gone. I do have the multi-gauge, the GJ multi-pick, sorry, and we've got the 2-in-1 tips for that, so I do use that for a lot of non-BS, non-curtained locks for out in the field. Obviously, sometimes there's a time and a place for different tools, and it's just nice to have a little bit of variety. Yeah, so I saw these and just, oh, that one's gone straight away. I mean, as I say, they're very trivial, no anti-picks or anything, so don't expect to not be able to open any of these out in the field. But you do, as I say, you can get the odd one that can be quite troublesome. But for those of you that want to get into lever picking, this is definitely a good start, is to get onto some of these 3 levers and learn how to control tension and manipulating the levers and the feedback straight away. Okay, so last one. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a very smart tool. You know, they're going to be in my van, they will get used, especially out in the warrant field and domestically. Is it something that personally I'm going to use every day? No. But it's always good to have more than one option and more than one tool. Slipped on that one, that was my fault then. There we go. That one just needed a bit of tickling to get open. What you will find with these, if you've got some of these union free levers and they don't have the faceplate, what happens is the bolt can actually hang down slightly. So when the bolt's hanging out, it's just drooping slightly. So that kind of puts the bolt at an angle, so the stump isn't exactly square in the lock. So that can cause you a few little issues sometimes when picking. Nothing that can't be adapted. I mean, when they're in the door, typically you've got the faceplate on anyway. But just bear in mind when you're on the bench, you know, because you've got all of that slop in the bolt. Okay, so when you're using these on a bench, if you can, try and get yourself a faceplate. Okay, and then that stops the bolt from having all of that slop, and it keeps the stump square in the lock. So hopefully that's been of some use. A fairly short video this week, but I've got a couple of long videos recorded. It's just tweaking them and making sure I'm happy with them. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay humble, and until the next time, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon.